Arsenal beat West Ham 5-2 to cement their place firmly in the title race and to confirm to everyone that they are back to their best. Now in this video we're going to go through everything that went on in the game and who we should look out for in the future at the club. So let's get into it. Now first of all, this is a great result for Arsenal. This is one of the results that we really needed, I felt like, and if we are going to go on this great run with games coming every 3 or 4 days, this is just another brick in the wall. And after our brilliant performance against Sporting in the week and our good performance against Forest last weekend, it was good to get some momentum. And while it weren't the cleanest performance yet again, that first half an hour absolutely blew West Ham apart, and in the end it was too much for them to come back from. Now overall, scoring 5 goals against West Ham is a great thing. Obviously we won 6-0 away there earlier on in the year, and we really did feel like that first half was quite similar. We had near enough the same goal scorers that scored in that game, and some of our goals were quite similar, obviously scoring from a set piece early on like we did then. Now first of all, I do want to talk about some of the stats. If you look at the XG, obviously 2 penalties does boost it a little bit, but we still created a lot, and I do feel like sometimes stats need to be put into context. Of course we probably could have had more XG and conceded less, but being 4-0 up half an hour in kind of gives us the idea to put the foot off the gas, and obviously 5-2 up at half time. I say we managed the second half pretty easily, which is what we needed to do. But overall the momentum was there for most of us the game. I'm pretty sure we had around 75% field tilt overall, which was really good. And from our attack, it was brilliant performances all round. I was really impressed by the midfield and how it worked, which I will go into a little bit in this video, but I'm going to do something else after. And the attack finally flourished. I've been saying that we needed our attack to perform. They've been quite weak this season, I feel like, but this week we scored 13 goals and we look really good again. And as for the goals, I felt like we scored predictably goals that you would expect us to score. Of course, we scored a corner with Gabriel, where on paper it just looks like he has a free header in the box, which he does end up having. But I hate all of this criticism that West Ham are getting for their defending, when sometimes I do feel like people have to look at the bigger picture. Now in this game you can definitely say West Ham defended poorly on some of the goals, but I think some of them are also brilliant by Arsenal and we deserve credit. Now this one's a little bit in between. I do think West Ham's defending is quite poor. As I'll be pulling up right now, you can see Kilman is the zonal marker. He's their main header of the ball and he doesn't really go and attack it. He just kind of stands where he is, which is poor. And Antonio should consistently keep up with Gabriel, but he isn't as good in the air as Gabriel, especially defensively. And what Gabriel does is really smart. He goes into Calafiori, then goes out, and he gets blocking players like Timber to go in front of him, of course, to also give Gabriel that little bit of space. It's a very different corner to what Gabriel has been scoring. We see them late runs from the edge of the box, but this time it was back post and he kind of sneaked his run behind everyone else. And it was brilliant and he scored yet again. And Gabriel and us from set pieces is just inevitable. Also, the second goal I want to quickly mention, I think Arsenal, this is a pure reason of just how great Arsenal are. Now, we spoke about how Arsenal are trying to get the right hand side to work a lot more than the left, and the left is going to be there for the poachers. And if you look at the average positions again from the possession, it is completely like that. The right side is tight, close, and really pushed up the pitch, while Trossard is basically on his own man island. And there was a lot of times Trossard actually came a lot deeper to pick up the ball as well. Now this is exactly why Odegaard and Saka work so well. The little 1-2 they do, the timing of Saka's runs have been getting incredible the last few weeks, in which he times it perfectly with Wan-Bissaka actually keeping him and Havertz on side. And of course Emerson doesn't track the run, but this is the problem with when you get 2 players against Saka. He can come inside, pass it. If you're not marking Odegaard in time, then some of the players sort of get in each other's way and it's hard to actually kind of follow where the ball is going. And in the end, Saka does brilliant. The control on his knee as well is brilliant, and in the end he puts it across for Trossard, who can't miss. Now the 2 penalties I think are clearly penalties. I'm not really going to go too much into them, but the last goal I do want to mention is obviously our 4th goal, which we scored. Now this is a very different goal to what Arsenal have been scoring recently. Now this is something that Arsenal have tried to do. We saw it, we did it earlier against Brighton in the season, and we have done it a few times last season, but we're not really that inevitable on the break. But today this is finally a great example of doing it. Jorginho does brilliant to win the ball back. He was excellent all day, I felt, and it comes into Trossard, and finally it's that bit of end product from Trossard which is not in the box. He does a quick first time ball which is brilliant in the middle, and I don't really know what Kilman's doing. He should just try and commit and in the end try and like push Havertz into something, and he doesn't. And in the end Havertz obviously has a one-on-one which he takes brilliant, but that was a goal that we want to do more. Havertz obviously being more clinical and then positioned, which is a major good thing, but also just having that awareness to quickly go over the top and get them on the counter, which is really good to see Arsenal doing it. Now overall wasn't perfect though. I do think the goals we conceded were quite poor. The free kick, it is whatever. I don't think it's a free kick and they score a great goal there. Some people blame the wall, I've been seeing, but the ball jumps, there's not a lot they can do. It's got great height and dip on it. And the first goal, there's definitely a little bit lack of awareness. Woklzbusiness where he goes through the blindside Wan-Bissaka behind Trossard. But yet again, it's just being too tight in them situations. Trossard and Calafiori too tight together. Calafiori doesn't really know where to run and can't really get out with Trossard being there. And it allows Wan-Bissaka to get in behind, and it is what it is. Close range goal, don't really blame Raya for that. And I think in the second half, we were a lot better. We kind of shut down shop. Not really a lot happened, but overall, we take that going into it. Now, overall, here's a stat that I wanted to just bring up because I do think it is very important. We have scored now 5+ goals in 5 away games this year, which is like one of the most ever, joint with these ones you see on screen. Now, this comes after we obviously score 5 in the week as well in the Champions League. And I do think it just puts to bed that analysis of Arsenal being defensive, playing like Mourinho. Now, I never really agreed with that, and I said that we had to play defensively because we didn't have Odegaard, we didn't have sustained possession-based players. And now that that's kind of over, I'm glad that we have ended up scoring 13 goals in the last 3 games. Man United coming in the week. The attack looks so much better. Saka and Odegaard are working so well together. Obviously, both excellent again today, and I think that is really a major point. I also love how versatile our midfield can be. Now, Jorginho is definitely not the main choice, and I'm actually going to go over Jorginho in another video. But Jorginho and Rice double pivot, which worked in different ways on the ball and off the ball, worked so well. And obviously, Partey and Marino recently have been really good, but them being out allows us to bring Jorginho in and him able to help us going forward, which is really important because we need these squad players to be vital to the team. And it's another thing with Trossard coming in. Thought he was much better again today, and Martinelli hasn't played any minutes in the last 2 Prem games, getting good rest as well. Now, overall, I think a lot of players played well. I do think there was some quite hiccups in defence. I think Calafiori struggled at times. I think maybe some of our defenders didn't really work, but we weren't awful overall, and the attack really excelled, I felt like, and we were good, I think, in large parts of the game in the first half, which didn't really matter over. It was like that old 2022-2023 Arsenal where they put the games to bed early on, and then the second half almost doesn't matter if you just can hold on, and which we can. And going into the start of this run that we've got, I was always a bit worried about what Arsenal were going to do in the first few games, because like I said, I think the 2 hardest games we've still got in this whole December period is the Fulham away game and United home game, which are in the next week coming up. But we needed to get good results against Sporting, which is a tough place to go. West Ham, which we have got a good record there, to be fair, but we still got to be good because we know how good West Ham can be when they want to be. They beat Newcastle comfortably in the week, and then Nottingham Forest at home, who are having a great year so far. So far, we've had a really good comeback, I feel like, in these sort of games. I think it at least gives the fans a lot more confidence, which is what we needed, and believe that we can do it. And we had Marino out, we had Partey out today, and I felt like Jorginho came in, Rice came in, and they were absolutely fine. And that's exactly what we need, that sort of level to come in and be better. Now, the fitness injuries are still there. You know, Calafiori still got a little bit of a knock, Gabriel as well, here and there. So we'll see what happens and see what happens for the United game and who's going to play. Is Partey going to be back? Is Marino going to be back? Hopefully, this could be very interesting. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think it's a brilliant game and a great day overall. Stuff to improve on, but ultimately brilliant attacking performance in the first half. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.